This is Inside Troy Athletics, a look at what's going on and what's coming up for Troy University's Trojans. Now, here's your host for Inside Troy Athletics, Jonathan Sellers.
Hello, welcome to Inside Troy Athletics. I'm Jonathan Sellers, and today I'm joined by the Deputy Director of Athletics for Troy University, and that's Brent Jones. And Brent, I want to go ahead and commend you and your staff for a great showing on Saturday with the Military Appreciation Day game against Akron. I know Mother Nature tried to throw a little bit of a wrench in there, but y'all handled it well. Things timed out perfectly, and everything flowed smoothly. So congratulations to y'all.
Well, thank you, and it's such a special day to be able to be part of this. The Troy's for Troops campaign, to be able to give almost $25,000 back through generous supporters and donors, and then also to be able to have the flyover pregame, to have the enlistment ceremony. What a powerful, moving deal to be able to see young individuals that are giving the oath to go into the military to protect our freedom. And then probably the highlight of the day for me, just because I've been living with it probably the last 3 months or so, was the giant American flag,
right.
100 yards across the field. Again, another huge shout out to the Officer Training School at Maxwell Air Force Base. Phenomenal job they did. We captured it amazingly with the flyover, with the pictures. I know you were also part of that. The university, we talk about One Troy a lot, and so One Troy represents a lot of things. We have different campuses that make up Troy University. We have the city of Troy, and then we have Troy University and how that works together. But we also talk about the departments inside athletics, and then also inside the university. And for everybody to come together to make this such a special day, it was high school band day.
Right.
It was Troy Preview Day. We honored and recognized Special Olympics. We had the Boy Scouts on campus. We had an honorary captain, a young lady, Riley Jane, who's 2 years old, who's fighting childhood cancer. To be able to have that plus our annual Military Appreciation Day, on top of an amazing win, a come from behind win at the very end, and the third largest crowd in Veterans Memorial Stadium history with over 27,000 fans, was just an exceptional day. It really was.
And one thing you didn't mention right there was the current military members that led the team out to Trojan Walk.
Yes.
Did you get to speak with them after that and just get what they thought about that moment and the reaction of the fans?
Unfortunately, I didn't, because we were still practicing the giant flag with OTS. But we sat down probably about 2 months ago and really came up with, every year you want to go above and beyond of what you've done before. And so how can we actually top what we did last year? And one of those things is we wanted to again, embrace and put our arms around the military, and to have the 5 different branches represented at Trojan Walk. Again, Captain Pankey did a phenomenal job selecting those individuals. And then also Coach Brown, he wanted those people, those military representatives, to lead the team, to really show our solidarity for it. And so we captured it via pictures and social media and videos. But I will tell you this, I didn't get an actual chance to talk to the military members that walked through it, but I did get to talk to a lot of our fans, and they said that was probably one of the most breathtaking things to see, in full uniform, to be able to walk down and shake their hands.
Right. As you said, I got to shoot the video, and just seeing them walk in front of the players, it was captured very nicely, and it was just a great picture. You talked about the game, a great game. It was a little bit of a sloppy game.
Yes.
Don't know whether we should blame the officials or what was going on, but I know that was what Coach Brown talked about, how he apologized to the fans a little bit, but not much he can do about that. But they were able to get the win, and I know a very exciting win, a come-from-behind win with a 97-yard touchdown drive.
Yes.
So I know that was exciting and good for y'all as well.
Anytime you can get a win, that's the toughest thing
Right.
to do. Anytime you get a win, no matter if it's an amazing game or a sloppy game or whatever it is, to be able to get a win, to be able to come out 3-1 heading into Baton Rouge is right where we wanted to be, right where we expect to be. I will tell you this, Akron is a very, very good team. Terry Bowden, success at Sanford, as well as success at Auburn, and then obviously what he's done at Akron. Bobby Bowden was at the game. It was somewhat of a homecoming. He used to have a camp here for 10 to 15 years, and so it was a really, really special deal. That team is probably a bowl-bound team, and they're very, very good. And so for us to be able to come from behind really showed the depth and the character of what Coach Brown has been preaching the whole year. And that pass in the end zone was exceptional.
Yeah, awesome play by Brandon Silvers to DeAndre Douglas. And I know they're going to try to keep that winning going this weekend down in Death Valley. And last year we tried to win in Death Valley. That was up in Clemson. This time it's down in Baton Rouge, and not going to be an easy test for the team.
Every Saturday is going to be a tough test,
Right.
and that's what you expect going into it. Obviously, playing the caliber of the LSU Tigers and the SEC, it's going to be a phenomenal game. I know we have history there. We played them 2 or 3 times before. Not going into those different games, some have been extremely close with it, but I know our team's going to be ready. We're going to have close to 1,500, 2,000 fans down there, which again, we always talk about, the Trojan Nation, the Trojan Warrior spirit. To be able to see our fans that want to travel, we had a very good crowd at the Boise State
Right.
game. We had a good crowd at New Mexico State. Those aren't easy trips to make,
No.
and this is an easy trip. And so we're going to have a lot of our students there. We're going to have a lot of our fans, and so that's going to really make a big difference. And so everywhere we go across the South and across America, to be able to have Troy graduates that really kind of lift us up is going to be very big, and it's going to be huge for Saturday.
And that game will be 6 o'clock. If you're not able to go to the game, I know they're actually having a watch party downtown. Yes. You can attend that as well.
Again, talking about the One Troy atmosphere and the city of Troy really stepping up and helping us and our fans as well. So it's going to be at 6 p.m. It's downtown on the square. Be able to watch that. That's just a really cool, unique deal that a lot of towns don't really offer to the universities that are hosted there.
Again, getting together with other Troy fans just to hopefully celebrate a victory at the end.
That's what the whole plan is.
Now, I know the following week, it won't be the Saturday, but a week and a half is the Battle for the Bet. We'll talk about it a little later on the show with Cal George, but I know you're excited about that and want to have a big crowd. It's a Wednesday night, so maybe tougher for people, but go ahead and encouraging people to come out and work their work schedules to get here.
So just going off, in our first game, we set the all-time attendance record for Veterans Memorial. This past game was the 3rd largest. We really want to keep that going. Coach Brown's talked about how the students matter, how the families, how the community does. It's just an amazing atmosphere, and we really want to encourage people out there. We need the stadium full. Right. We need Veterans Memorial Stadium full. Our team feeds off that. If you were there that last 2 minutes of the game, it was loud, and everyone was into it. And I really think that our fans really propelled our team to victory, and we're going to need that every game, especially against our rival, and especially about last game when we went down to Ladd Stadium down there in Mobile and brought, I believe, 21 buses and almost 5,000 people. And so I'm sure South Al is going to want to bring that back. But something that's really special about college athletics is you have these rivalry games. They're very heated, very passionate, and at the same time you have the sportsmanship. So at halftime, their band and our band are going to come together to be able to play some songs, and that's just what it's all about, the pageantry of it. But we're definitely going to try to put our best foot forward and win the game.
And keep the belt here in Troy.
Absolutely.
Now, I know soccer and volleyball have gotten into the Sun Belt Conference part of their schedule. How did their weekends go?
So our soccer and volleyball teams are off to a pretty good start. And so we have Friday night, Saturday for volleyball, and then we have a Sunday game as well for soccer. And the one thing that we really encourage our fans, attendance is up is across the board. But one of the really cool things about it, I know you have kids, I have kids as well, and so you're able to bring all your family out there. It's free admission. You're really able to meet and mingle with the teams, and so it's just an exciting atmosphere. But to be able to have them here Friday and Saturday in Trojan Arena, it's going to be a great time. We have some special promotions. The first 50 fans Friday night are going to be able to get a free One Troy Red Solo Cup. It's the insulated cup that's going to be able to keep year-round type of deal. We'll have posters out there. We have tons of different promotions. And then for soccer, too, it's supposed to be a beautiful day on Sunday. And so this whole weekend, so you're able to watch the Trojans on TV if you're not going to Baton Rouge, but at the same time, you're able to really have a fun-filled, free weekend with soccer and volleyball here. All
right, so lots of action here at home this weekend. Football team will be on the road, but after maybe going out to the volleyball game, you can catch them downtown on the square and then go ahead and get ready. October 11th, that game is at 7 o'clock.
It's at 7 o'clock. It's on ESPN, but let's not worry about it. It's on ESPN.
Not on TV.
We need everybody to be there to fill Veterans Memorial Stadium. We'll be releasing a few different promotions and themes coming up. It's going to be pretty special about it, and so we really need our fans to step up as they have the first 2 games.
All right, Brent. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more coming up on Inside Troy Athletics. And welcome back to Inside Troy Athletics, and we're here with the head coach of the cross-country program, and that's Coach Elliott Blount. And Coach, y'all, last time I talked to you, you were about to head to Appalachian State, and your team went up there and performed really well. Men finished in 2nd again. The women finished in 6th, but against some good competition. What did you think about how the teams did?
I thought the men, like I said, they executed very well, and for the last 2 years, I've been trying to get them to stick to the script the whole way through the race. And, in the beginning part of the race, they were a little behind. They stuck, held their heads and were able to fight their way through the pack in the middle of the part. And like I said, they finished in second. So it was very reassuring. Good trip, beat some conference competition between Coastal and App State. And App State's historically pretty well. The women, being young, they got a little ambitious, got a little excited in the thin air, went out a little too fast, kind of paid dearly in the back hills about there, but they really did compete pretty hard the way coming home. So I was pretty happy the way both teams competed.
Now, one of the things you wanted to do with that trip was just kind of see how it was like going up there, seeing the course. What did you think of all that?
I mean, it's a beautiful course. I mean, Coach Curcio did an amazing job laying it out. It's very spectator friendly. It's in the the mountains of Boone, so it was ideal. We just had to get used to, how it would feel, running at altitude. So right at the cusp of where altitude starts to affect your running at 3,000 feet. And I think we learned that lesson, especially on the women's side. We paid dearly a little bit, but I think the whole trip and getting, seeing how the town is and just getting, our feet wet up there, it was all in all, it was a successful trip.
Now, this past weekend, you gave the men some rest. The women traveled down to Gainesville to run down there against the 31 other teams. There was a big crowd in University of Florida. What did you think of the performance?
We took middle of the pack. We took 16th out of 30 teams, I believe it was. I wanted to see really our 4 through 7 runners. We have to really solidify that group. I think we're pretty good up front with Kara, Mackie, and Christy, the 3 freshmen. But from 4 to 7, we really have to make sure that we're racing strong. And what I did see from that group down there was a step forward. They were able to execute, in tough part of the races, and again work their way up through the pack, the way we train, the way we race, and I was very pleased with that. But yeah, the men, we need a little break, but we're back in action this weekend.
Where do you go this weekend?
We're up back in Oxford, where we raced a 4K and a 6K previously. Now we're back racing the JSU's course, very flat course. Of course, we're all familiar with. Everyone that's going up there has raced there already. Some of the guys have been there maybe 3 or 4 times in their time here. So, it should be a good one. There's some conference competition on the women's side. Georgia State will be there. Georgia Southern will be there. The men, I'm not too certain of the competition, but again, we just want to see execution. And if we can do that and continue on some of the good things that we did in meets past, we'll be very pleased.
Now, with a race like this, one that they've been used to, that they've seen before, and after having seen what they've done so far this season, do you kind of let them go a little bit, or you still
this is around
the
time. Yeah, you're right on it, John. Yeah, this is about the time we let them open up a little bit, and usually we keep the governor on them, so to speak, through like 5K or so. But I'm gonna let them go a little bit early. They don't know this yet unless they watch the show. I'm sure they do, right? But I'm gonna let them go a little bit earlier to kind of test their roads. And since they're so familiar with it, and it's a pretty forgiving course, being that there aren't any hills in it, it's pretty flat. I'm pretty confident that they'll be able to hold their head, even if they do extend themselves a little bit early. But I want them to kind of test the waters a little bit to see, where they're at in their fitness.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you later in the season.
Excellent.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on Inside Troy Athletics. And we're back for our final segment here on Inside Troy Athletics, and I'm joined by Kyle George, who is the Associate AD for Marketing and Sales. And Kyle, I commended Brent earlier for y'all's outstanding work on Saturday, and same thing to you. Just congratulations on a great Military Appreciation Day game. I know it was tough work, but y'all pulled it off well.
Well, thank you very much. And that last-minute lightning delay had me scrambling a little bit there, but we got it all in there. But main thanks goes to all our fans. Our fans have been fantastic. I think Brent was mentioning earlier about highest attended game to start the season, the 3rd highest attended game for our 2nd home game. So that's a tribute to Coach Brown and his staff that they've built here with Troy Athletics, and more so though to our fans. They keep coming out, and when we need them, they create a great environment for us at Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's tough to come in and beat Troy when you're at home.
Well, talking about a tough environment, we want to keep that tough environment for October 11th.
Definitely.
Discussed that earlier in the broadcast, but October 11th is the battle for the belt against South Alabama, and I know y'all have been working on some things for that one. What can you tell us?
Oh, no, I'm personally excited about this one. It'll be my first time being part of Battle for the Belt. Huge rivalry game for us there. And that's the great thing about college athletics, when you have those rivalries. We're close in proximity to each other as well, too. So I know it's going to be one that we're excited to welcome them to Veterans Memorial Stadium. But we want to make sure we get that win, first and foremost there. So we're going to need our fans there. It's a Wednesday night game, 7 o'clock kickoff. Unique opportunity for us. We're the one game on TV that night. We need to pack the vet for that game to showcase how strong Troy is. We've seen in these first few games how much our fans can impact the game, and we need them there again for this one. It'll be Troy Parks and Recreation Night there for us. Got a great relationship with Dan Smith and his staff there. Got a ton of little kids soccer and flag football teams out there as well too. We're looking forward to get a chance to welcoming them there as our guests there as well for several different things there. If you got a kid that you want to go ahead and sign your team up there for, it's $8 tickets for anybody that's part of Troy Parks and Recreation.
Okay.
We'll have their registration forms out there for them at the soccer fields there for them. So my staff and I were going out there. We're going to set up a tent, be out there selling tickets right there on the spot there to them.
Okay.
We're looking forward to bringing them into the game on October 11th there as well. And it's also going to be our breast cancer awareness game as well too. This is a unique opportunity for us to pay tribute to those who are in the battle currently, as well as those who might have succumbed to the battle earlier on there. So it's one that it impacts a lot of different people, whether it's you individually or somebody you know. It's a chance for us to give back to those people there. So we're looking forward to doing a little bit that we can to raise awareness for that.
Okay. Any other things, or are we holding off on some of those till the game time, or till close to the game time?
Well, I'm sure we'll still have a few more surprises popping up here and there. Our men's basketball team, we're all excited about basketball season starting up here very soon. But Coach Phil Cunningham and his staff and his players are going to get a chance to be recognized at this game for winning the Sun Belt Conference Championship. That was a magical run here, and for me, that was my first day on the job, was them winning the basketball championship. So kind of crazy to believe it's been that long for me already. But getting a chance to celebrate that team, and the women's basketball team, they'll also be honored later in the season, November 2nd, for another national broadcast game there too.
Now, those teams will also have their chance to kind of have some fun, and that will be the night before the South Alabama game, October 10th.
Correct. So we're going to have our pep rally leading up to the football game, as well as Trojan Madness. So it's a great opportunity there for us. With a Wednesday night game, we need to do, it's a little bit of a different style there for us. Your schedule gets changed up a little bit there. We saw it as an opportunity. Let's look at doing something a little bit different, add something more to Trojan Madness, and that way you get a chance to celebrate a rivalry game. You get to get excited about basketball season just around the corner. Both our men's and women's basketball teams, they tip off their season November 1st in Trojan Arena for some exhibition games. That'll fall right after homecoming and right before the Idaho game for football as well too. So pretty unique situation, but also exciting where you can kind of mesh football and basketball together there.
But then the Trojan Madness, that's a chance for the teams to come out, kind of show off what they have this year,
Exactly.
have some fun, get the fans involved a little bit as well.
Definitely, and it's open for all fans. Free admission for that one, so come out to Trojan Arena. We'll have some more details coming out very soon about that, available online at TroyTrojans.com. We're looking forward to getting things kicked off there, because it's hard to believe that basketball season, it's almost here for us. I mean, we're less than 50 days from tipping off the regular season, so excited to have that kickoff into a big rivalry game. And even before that, too, our volleyball team will be playing South Alabama this Saturday prior to the game, so it's going to be October 7th in Trojan Arena there. So a lot of big things coming up here for us right now. Even this weekend, soccer playing South Alabama on Sunday. So it's beat South time around here for us right now.
And we've also got some volleyball coming up this weekend as well. This is soccer. Volleyball will play Friday and Saturday, then soccer on Sunday. What's going on with those games?
So some big conference matches for us right now. This will be our first conference home matches for volleyball. They've actually been on the road since September 5th. So it's been a tough stretch there for them, going out, having different tournaments. Began conference play on the road last weekend out in Texas as well too. So now they're coming back home to Trojan Arena. Friday, 6:30 game against Georgia Southern. That'll be our volleyball bingo night. So we're going to have bingo cards there. So when you come into the match there, grab a bingo card, free for everybody to play along. It's all based on situations in the game. So if there's an ace, you might get a spot on your card there. If you win the first set, you might get a spot on your card. So it's all based on the situations there. Has some great prizes for fans to win. And then on Saturday, 6:30, we'll have against Georgia State, another big match there for volleyball. First 50 fans will get a One Troy Cup. And then we wrap up the weekend on Sunday with soccer back at home as well too. They're taking on South Alabama, 1 p.m. start. Again, free admission for all those games there. And Sunday's game for soccer is also presented by Publix. And you have the first 50 fans will also receive a Troy drawstring bag as well too. So tons of chances to get there early. You get chances to win prizes throughout the entire weekend. Make sure you also tune in this weekend too, as our football team travels down to Death Valley to take on LSU.
And we discussed that. They're having the watch party on the square. So for those that can't make it, you can still gather with Troy fans, hopefully celebrate a Troy victory and just have a good time. Definitely.
That's what we need, is a big victory this weekend. 3-1 start here for us. Again, we mentioned the 2 home games so far have been fantastic crowds there for us. Coach Brown and staff are riding a lot of momentum there. We know we got a chance to keep getting better. We haven't necessarily had a perfect game yet, but we're looking forward to. That's the good news too, is we're still 3-1. And you still haven't seen a complete game yet, so we're getting there right now.
All right, Kyle. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, join us again next week for more on Inside Troy Athletics.